But yeah, man, Android Auto added Gemini finally to their app. And I'll tell you what, man, if you want to have a conversation on your way to your destination, the Gemini app just keeps asking follow-up question after follow-up question. It's like they don't want to get you off the line. It's almost like a telemarketer where they try everything to keep you. And you have to literally tell the Gemini guy, like, hey, like, let's stop after this. Enough is enough. So, I mean, I think I just asked it. Oh, I asked it a question. I asked it, why do I mistake words for other words when I'm like reading a sign? And I think Gemini said it's like the top-down effect. Let me see. Top-down effect. Let's see. So, yeah. So it's like a top-down effect. So basically, I drove past a church sign. And I was at Target. I was doing like a little light shopping. I'm trying to set up a spare room for a guest, you know, at my place. And I was like, man, I need to go to Target. I need to pick up a few things for this room. Like, the room isn't in a position where I would want to stay in it. So I guess that's like my mentality is like, would I want to stay in this room? And until I can say yes, then I think the room is done, essentially. Does that make sense? But yeah, I was like talking to my dad while I was in Target, just seeing how he's doing. And then we hung up. Got all the stuff I needed at Target. Driving on the way back home. I don't live too far from Target. I think it's like, dude, at the most, like 15-minute drive at the most, I'm saying. But yeah, I saw a sign on my way home. On a church, and then I read it, and I was like, yeah, he does love me. And I read the sign for some reason. I glanced at it, and the sign to me read, Dad loves you. And I'm like, Dad does love me, right? And then I'm like looking at the sign a little bit more, and it says, it's actually a church. It said, God loves you. And I'm like, how the heck did I mistake the word, you know, God for dad? And it was like, okay, well, there's got to be like a psychological explanation for this. So I actually, I asked Gemini in my car, and Gemini said, well, it's called the top-down effect in psychology. Your brain's trying to pick from a catalog of words that's the most easiest because you're distracted and you're driving. And so basically your brain's picking a word quickly, right? It's categorizing and it's trying to create a word quickly from a catalog of words that's already in your brain. And it happens when you're distracted. It happens when you're driving. Even Gemini was like, were you driving when you did this? And I'm like, yeah. But yeah, it says how it works. Instead of strictly analyzing raw sensory data bottom up, your brain jumps ahead, applying what it already knows to fill in the blanks, recognize faces in objects, or read jumbled words. Let's see. Example, in the Stroop effect, your brain's prior knowledge of reading words automatically overrides your ability to simply name the color the word is, oh yeah, printed in. That's interesting, yeah. But yeah, I did study psychology a little bit, and I find it, some psychology, I'm like, heck yeah, this is awesome. And then some psychology, I'm like, I'm kind of like, I don't know. Some of it I'm like, I don't know if I wanted to know that, right? I don't know. I can go into that later and probably talk about it for like 30 minutes. Thanks for the subscribe or the follow. I really appreciate it. I saw that message come up on the screen, so thank you for that. I just was in train of thought. But yeah, I talked to Gemini about it, you know, on Android Auto, and they were talking to me. He was talking to me about the top-down effect, and then he gave me this huge explanation. And then Gemini does not want you to leave. Gemini kept asking me follow-up questions, and eventually I'm just like, dude, stop. Like, I'm good now. Thank you so much. That explains a lot. Like, were you distracted? Or were you or it could detect that I was driving. I could see that you were driving when you saw that. So you were probably distracted. Am I right? It's just funny, man. But yeah, Gemini kept me on the line. It keeps you on the line for as long as you can. I think I remember having a conversation with Gemini about my computer kept thinking a device was unplugged and being plugged back in. And man, it would not leave me alone. It kept asking me follow-up question after follow-up question after. Eventually I'd be like, dude, Gemini, stop. Like, we're good now, okay? Thank you so much. You know, can you like, I think we've reached a good conclusion. I'm not home yet to try this troubleshooting out, but thank you. But yeah, that's my Android Gemini. It's an amazing tool. However, it definitely keeps you on the line. I think if you really wanted to, you could probably drive and it just ask you follow-up question after follow-up question until you had nothing left in your tank to even talk to it. So if you're ever bored, I mean, I'm talking extremely bored, you can always chat with AI, you know? That is an option.